Alright, so I'm gonna go right into this one. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what you guys should bring or what you need to bring. So the first thing is you need a meta attack depending on the damage style. So depending on which legend stage you're doing, 1 or 2, I don't know about 3. Is 3 even out? Like, I don't know if you could unlock it. I don't know if it depends on the days or not. I know I have unlocked 1 and 2 though, which is physical and magic. So depending on which one you're going for, if you're going for physical, I recommend bringing people like Urza Valkyrie, Urza Lightning, Sukuna, Guild Darts, anybody like that. For magic, you could bring Gojo, Jalal, Cell, Megumi, just anybody that could do more damage to their weakness types. You'll see the recommended on the right hand side for the legend stages and see which ones they're weaker to. I also recommend bringing a support that slows or stuns like Katakuri or Gray. More so towards Katakuri, because if you're using Gojo, if you use Gray with him, it's gonna counteract his, global stun. It's kind of make it useless. But if you use Katakuri, you could slow them while using Gojo's global stun, which is really overpowered. I also recommend bringing support buffs like Erwin. Maybe Erwin can be used as defense as well, but his increased damage buff is really good. Sukuna gives more physical damage because of his dismemberment, and Megumi with his domain expansion gives more magic weakness. So those two units right there can be very useful for stage 1 and stage 2, depending on which one you're doing. And then finally, bring Bulma. Alright, you need a money unit, and that's the only one out right now. They really need to make some more money units, except for Speedwagon as well. You bring Speedwagon if you want. But let's get straight into the macro. So before doing anything, I'm gonna go ahead and say right here that there's 2 types of macros, since there's 2 angles. So I'm gonna go over the first one and then the second one. And you can't really go down the safe route with this one because the summon types are not powerful enough to get through all of these stages. There's 20 stages and they all have weaknesses and resistances, and some of the summons may not be good for another stage. So yeah, I just recommend going down this route of risking it and not having 100% win rate all the time, but still having that win rate at 50-50. Let's go ahead and continue off with the tiny task macros. First of all, like I stated, you need tiny task. All right, I'm not gonna go through how this works. You can find a video on how it works, but put it on play speed 1, continuous playback, and just get ready for you to start macroing. First of all, place it in an area that you know, or that is at least on top of the play button. So once you do that, record, join, and then click a couple times, and now wait for it to load. Now this also varies on your Wi-Fi speed, so if you have bad Wi-Fi speed, you might want to make sure for every single movement that you do, wait like a couple of seconds, because you might load in slower, the game might load in slower, the game might interact slower, so you just want to go a little slower. But if you have faith in your Wi-Fi like me, then follow along. Now once you're in here, you want to go ahead and click a couple times in the middle of your screen, because there will be a notification and the daily rewards that'll pop up. So just get that out of your screen right away, and then go ahead and click event. So click event a couple times just in case, like I said, you're not loaded in. And the reason why I say click event is because event is going to be near a machine, and once you're near a machine, you can just go straight in and go into legend stages instead of going to summon, left, right, turns, etc. The event is just way easier, and it's right there, so why not use it? So once you're at the event area, go ahead and go to the left, and then this machine will be in front of you, so just go straight. Wiggle a couple times, jump a couple times, just to make sure you're inside there, because the interaction, the interface of you actually entering this machine can sometimes mess up. So wiggle a couple times, click the screen a little bit just in case you didn't get rid of that notification and daily reward. But once you do that, go ahead and click legend stages. Click on the stage that you want to go to, depending on which one. I honestly want to go with the first one because I have more physical units. So I'm go ahead and click select and start. This macro can work, you just have to switch up the units depending on if they're weakened to physical or magic, but I'll go over the first one because I do have more physical damaging units. Now we wait until we're inside the game. Like I said earlier, there will be 2 angles once you get in, and this is one of them. I'll show the other angle in a little bit here, but this is my preferred one because I've been seeing this more often than the other angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this one. So first of all, go ahead and hold A, shift, and hold the jump as well. So you're gonna go towards the left hand side. Now you might hit a couple barriers here and there, but you'll eventually jump over them and you'll be in a straight line towards the area you need to be at. Now keep holding this for a couple of seconds. All right, just keep holding it, and once you get to the wall, just make sure you hold it for a couple more seconds just in case you're not over mountains and the tiny ass obstacles. But move over, click W a couple times, move over to this little divot and you'll see it. See this divot right here? You can't go any more towards in front of you, and then go ahead and navigate yourself towards the back area. The back area meaning somewhere around right here. See, you'll be moving around a little bit more than usual, but the macro will record it, so don't mistake it for being slow. But go ahead and place down your Bulmas, and this is gonna be the spot you're gonna have for this type of angle. Now as you can see, I placed my Bulma down, and I'm gonna start placing down my physical units. I like to start off with Sukuna because he's the one that gives the buff for extra physical damage. So I'm gonna place down Sukuna. I'll only place down one of them for right now because I don't really need more than one person doing dismemberment. So I'm gonna place him for defending, and then start placing my Valkyries. Once I place down my Valkyries, of course they're gonna be my main damage dealers because they do scale a lot harder than Sukuna, and of course they have a bigger AoE and more multi-hit, so it's gonna be really useful. But once I place down my 2 attack damage units that can defend, I'm gonna place down my Katakuri because he's the one that's gonna be slowing down the units at the front. So I'm gonna place down a Katakuri all the way in this corner as far as you can, all the way to the tippity end, and then you should be good. If you have extra money, keep upgrading that Bulma. It may be hard to upgrade the Bulma because you're gonna have to defend a lot and keep upgrading the units. Like, unless you have a unit that has like unique, you can't really defend that easily. But if you do have somebody that has unique, then it's gonna be really easy to defend. Unfortunately, my luck is pretty horrible, so I can't do that. Now I'm gonna keep placing down my Valkyries just in an area where I could see them and upgrade them. As you can see, I do have the cosmetic, so it's a little annoying to navigate around, but I can still see their faces and their body pretty clearly, so I could upgrade them pretty quickly as well. But somewhere around wave 7 and wave 8, you want to start placing down your hybrid or hill units because those flying units will come by very quickly and you have nothing else to hit them with, so be cautious. But as you can see, I have enough money to place down on my Valkyries. They do around 2k now, so they're going to be able to defend for quite a while. So since it's wave 7, I'll start placing down my Jalals since I do have the money. So I'll place them on this hill because it'll gather everything in that little area. Plus, I will have this little area right here for my Irwins because they're going to be doing the buffs and being able to summon the troops. So I'm going to go ahead and place down all my Jalals, and from here on out, I'm just going to place down all my units so you guys could see how the loadout would look. Now, this is what my whole setup would look like if I placed down all my units. So as you can see, I have the Katakuris lining up at this little pathway just to make sure they will hit each other, so they're going to slow down every unit possible, and it goes down all the way to the edge of my screen because of the boss. If you don't have good like traits on your units, the boss will pass through all of these guys, and you have to make sure that he's slowed down so your units could kill him fairly efficiently. But everything else is fairly in line. I have my Urzas doing damage, I have my Sukunas in my back. I will place the rest of my Sukunas, but for right now, like I said, I only need one because of course you only need one to use the dismemberment effect. I have my Irwins in the middle to collect the Jalals, the Valkyries, and the Sukunas to get buffed. Plus, they are summoning troops, so that's extra damage on the flyings and the ones that do get passed. And then from there on out, I'll try to upgrade my units, especially Bulma, if I have enough money to sustain myself over time. But if I don't, I'll probably just upgrade my Valkyries because they do cost the least amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my Valkyries up by 1 because it only costs 1,550, and that should give them enough to get up to 3,000 each. So that's 12k off the bat, and that should be able to kill them pretty easily, plus the 25% more damage. And if I add on the dismemberment, that's gonna go up to around like 50% more physical damage, so that's gonna be really good. But I'm gonna quickly fast forward this and show you guys how the end game looks. Alright, so we finally reached the boss, and as you can see, this is the final loadout, this final upgrades, and this is what it should look like for at least my units. And the boss is getting shredded, but it will double in HP because this is only like the tank shield. So yeah, it'll get a lot more HP. As you can see, it just skyrocketed up to 900,000, but at least my Valkyries can still reach. And he got out here, he got dismembered right now, and I'm having my Irwins doing extra damage. Plus, I do have the troops in the back. This is why Irwin is still very viable in this like legend stages, because Irwin's troops will still do a ton of damage. But as you can see, Valkyries can't reach anymore. Now you're gonna go ahead and sell them once you wait a couple more seconds because you want to make sure that the time has passed. So once it does pass, go ahead and sell your units in the front, and if it hasn't died yet, then you could use your Irwin as a backup killer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my money to upgrade my Irwins all the way up to max. Now they'll do 30k every 10 seconds, so hopefully that's enough to eliminate this boss, which is most likely the case. It'll just take a little bit more time. So if you don't have good traits like me, this might be the path that you want to take. And there we go, the boss has died. As you can see, very easy. Now go ahead and click next for a couple of seconds just to make sure if you are taking the route that Irwins have killed the boss. So maybe stay here for around 15 seconds. But if you're sure that he's already dead, go ahead and click return to lobby and exit out, and then end the macro there. But I'm gonna go ahead and wait a couple seconds. All right, return to lobby, go ahead and exit out, and then you should be good. And the macro, boom, fairly easy. Now let me show you what the other angle would look like. Alright, so this is the other angle, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys. Like I said, this is the opposite, so hold W, shift, and space to go forwards, and that's all you want to do. Like I said earlier, you're gonna basically clear through everything pretty easily by just going straight ahead and jumping. And every single time you should reach the same area, since of course you're overturning those landscapes. But once you do reach this wall, go ahead and run forwards, release space, and then once you reach the little pathing, make yourself back to that area. So go ahead and navigate your way down the path. This might take a little while, but they won't catch up to you. there's no fast fire units. So go ahead and make your way past here, boom, 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 and down here. So it's a little bit of a different angle. Once you do have your cosmetics off, you should have an angle like this. So you're gonna have the hill to your left side. You're gonna have a pretty nice laning right here. You can place your Katakuris or any slows all the way at the front to slow them down even further. So this angle might be even better for just having better runs, but it might not be the best in terms of getting this for RNG, but this is what it looks like. And now let me place down all my units so you guys could see what the placements would look like. All right, and this is what it looks like with my setup. So my Katakuris are all the way on the right hand side, just slowing down everything. Valkyries and Sukunas in the front. On this left hand side, attacking. And my Irwin straight in the middle so he could hit the Jalals, the Valkyries, and the Sukunas, giving more damage. And my Bulma all the way in the front, just so I could upgrade her pretty easily. And that's it. So enjoy macroing this.